that in a moment. In this first example, we've looked at the Bachelor of Arts, and you can see that the 4 countries in that comparison are New Zealand, United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia, and they're in the from the least expensive to the most expensive. They're all reasonably the same. I know it's not probably that clear from many of you, but it goes from, whoops, that was the wrong one, that's the next one, I'll just go back. Goes from the least expensive, so you see New Zealand is the least expensive, United Kingdom is next, Canada is next, and then Australia. It also shows the average cost on the left of the courses. In this case, the currency chosen was euros. I'll show you a few more of these at the end with some interesting results, but I'll just show you the process first of all. When you click on a particular country, you get the breakdown of the actual figures themselves. In this case, because it fits rather nicely onto a slide, we've chosen New Zealand, and you'll see all the universities from New Zealand there listed in relationship to a Bachelor of Arts, what they're charging. In this case, the currency was euros. If the figure is in green here, this means that they're under the average price. If the figure is in red, as we can see here, it means they're over the average price. The average price, course cost being 12,321 euros for a Bachelor of Arts degree per year in New Zealand. So that's, you could click on any of the other countries, UK, Canada, and Australia, and have a similar listing. What's important here is it does enable the agent to go to the source of that information. So here is the websites of the individual universities themselves and where they're cited. It tells you the date on which these prices were cited. So an agent can say, hang on, that's not right. I believe that the University of Otago has changed their prices. They can look at that listing there, and if there is a problem, they can make it aware to ourselves, or indeed we can have a look at that. User-submitted data, what we're really aiming for with this process is a wiki-style environment whereby users can themselves submit their own data. We're looking to have a corpus of verified knowledge, and we've got about 400 values. That means 400 websites where we've looked at various values for different courses. But it will be the case that institutions will say, well, I would like to put my information in and compare that to the general average within a country or around the globe, and get reports for my own decision making or for my own team to understand. And user-submitted data enables people to put their own information in and match it against the, if you like, verified body of data and provide reports on that basis. All it has to do, in this case, is for architecture. Imagine you're in Canada and you want to do, you're the University of Toronto, or you're an agent who works for the University of Toronto. You'd put in, obviously, the University of Toronto, and then you put the price in Canadian dollars there. You don't have to specify it's Canadian dollars because it's the University of Toronto. The system will understand that. The date on which you're putting this information in, and the source of information, the actual website that you're referring it to, that will then be sent to us, and we'll have an opportunity to verify that data. So if somebody puts that in and says, this is what the University of Toronto's architecture course is, it will come to our communications officer who has the website open, the price they say, and says, yep, that matches, click, and it then goes into the verified corpus of data. So what we're very much hoping is that the industry as a whole will get behind this tool. The education agents in particular will begin to build up the knowledge base from the 400 entries we have currently to into the thousands, and take the system somewhere in the direction of a Wikipedia thing, where there's a lot more users putting in what they need, and we're playing a verification role to make sure that the information that's provided in general is verified when we have a chance to look at it. The other thing you can provide from the system is generic cost reports. In this case, this is just a list of the global prices for all courses around the world that we put in. And you can see, and it's probably hard to read it all from there, but you'll probably get this on the ACPET website in the end. The high-priced ones, no surprise, that's medicine. Medicine, the average price in Australian dollars, $49,890 a year, rather expensive. Dentistry is coming next, that's $46,000. Veterinary science comes in at $32,900. answering the first question to you, that was the first one. Arts is the cheapest at $18,094. But they're all, I think they tell quite an interesting tale. These are aspirational charts. What we're aiming to do from next month is to actually take a snapshot every month of all of these figures and then plot them on a timeline, so that there's also the ability to look at how exchange rates have changed the relative competitiveness of different courses over a period of time. And here's some other ways in which we can look at cost comparison reports. It enables individuals to choose a particular course, in this case a business management course in a particular currency, in this case Canadian dollars, and it provides a report over time comparing the cost of that course, in this case a Bachelor of Arts at the University of Sydney with a Bachelor of Business Management worldwide. You might say, why would you do that? But it gives you an opportunity to compare any kind of course with any other sort of course and provide printout reports for your clients to engage with. Key issue, I'm sure a few of you are thinking, is how accurate are these calculations? Well, the data from the tuition fees is accurate in the sense that it's taken from publicly available sources, and as you saw, it's easy in the system to go back and verify that the figure that is used as a calculation is right there on the public website of the institution. The living costs, if you choose to include them, are government estimates. The exchange rates are accurate as on the day they run. There's an API that goes to the various exchange rate bodies across the internet and calculates them on the day. The slides I'm showing you were calculated on Monday, by the way, so this was put together on Monday and they're accurate as of 4 days ago. Are we comparing apples with apples? Not always. And in the sense that a course, as I mentioned before, undertaking an economics course in one country is not always the same as undertaking a course in another country for the purpose of being an economist. So there's a degree of interpretation necessary. And that's one of the reasons why this is not going to be made as a public opportunity for students themselves to interrogate, because it's not really the kind of information that can stand up to scrutiny without the understanding of how the data is compared. I think it would be a reasonably dangerous thing to simply put this up as a live opportunity for individual students to just say, I'd like to compare what the price of this to this is, because without understanding some of the mechanism behind it, it could provide misleading and ultimately provide a bad sense around the program. That's why this will come with quite a lot of information to education agents themselves to help them make sense of what these comparisons actually mean. How far can they be taken? For example, if we look at medicine, the UK comes out as the most expensive because it's looking